How's it going, everyone? This is Basaraski, and this is the official first episode of PackTalk. Now, this might be the first time you're actually putting a face to my channel, which is important because some of you have never seen who I am or the person behind creating all the highlight videos you watch. So, if you didn't see, a couple weeks ago, I put out a post saying I wanted to start something like this. I wanted to start a Packers talk show where everyone can talk with each other about the Packers, events, and all that. Just have a good time on here. Do live streams, all that type of stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. In this episode, I'm looking to introduce myself mainly because, as I said, a lot of you have no idea who I am. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, you can. It'll be down in the description. You can get a little more insight on who I am. But to start off, my name is Alex. I'm from Pennsylvania. A lot of you may think I was from Wisconsin or like that because, I'm a Packers fan, and a lot of people think that you got to be from Wisconsin to be a Packers fan, which is not true. We're everywhere. I've been a Packers fan since a little boy, a wee little lad. So I grew up a Packers fan because of my dad. He was always a Packers fan. I remember as a little boy just watching the Packers games with him in the basement with this little box TV or whatever you want to call it. So I grew up be a Packers fan because of him. He even went to Florida in '83 to watch the Packers play the Bucs, which were two of the worst teams at the time. The Packers with Lynn Dickey and James Lofton, likes of those players. I think it was a 12-9 game, so real shocker one there. Yeah, my dad was always a Brett Favre fan just because of his character and the way he played and the way the Packers organization just housed these type of players. And just like myself, I loved Brett Favre. Brett Favre I idolized that guy. To me, Brett Favre was the epitome of what a football player should be. Just all heart, just loves the game to the fullest, but also has so much fun playing it. I think that means a lot, and you see more and more players in this day and age just get out of the league because they really don't love it, or they're just doing it for the money. And Brett wasn't that. Brett was just a joy to watch, and sometimes you definitely wanted to strangle him through the TV, but other times you were like, how in the world did that guy just make that throw or that play? It was crazy to watch Brett Favre, and if you grew up watching him, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I always idolized that guy. My favorite number is and has been 4 just because of Brett Favre, which I don't know. That's the sole reason I grew up a Packers fan with my dad and then Brett Favre and all that. It was just a joy to watch growing up as a kid. I loved him so much that I went to and saw him play on live in the stadium on 3 of his starting teams. So I saw him in the Packers, played the Eagles in 07. In 08, I saw him on the Jets. And in 09, I saw him on the Vikings. So I followed that guy around, always, and will be a Packers fan, of course, but I loved him. I rooted for him no matter where he was, and that was just my childhood hero, hearsay, for football terms. Circling back to the stadiums, how I said I watched Brett Favre and all the 3 different teams, a goal of me and my dad was to actually go and hit every NFL stadium, and we've been doing it strong every year, either a stadium or 2 every single year, and I hit my 16th stadium this year. I went to Kansas City, bought the tickets in the preseason. I was like, oh, this one's going to be great. We got Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, boom, Sunday Night Football, perfect. It was a 16-hour drive, amazing. I hope you could sense the sarcasm. But a couple weeks before, Patrick Mahomes decides, he wants to get fallen on by a guy and fractured his kneecap. So I went and watched the premier matchup of Matt Moore and Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me wrong, amazing game, loud as shit stadium, amazing fans, but definitely wasn't what I had hoped in terms of just that premier matchup. It would be like going to watch a Brady Rodgers in 2010 and having Matt Flynn show up because Aaron concussed himself a week prior, which I was also at that game. Ironically, one of the funny moments about that game, many of you may remember, is the Dan Connolly, the Patriots guard, returned a kick to the Green Bay 4 before being tackled.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, look at this. This is Dan Connolly, the right guard. The right guard. Still going to the 4-yard line.
And I kid you not, every single person in that stadium was rooting for that guy to score. Packers fan, Patriots fan, it doesn't matter. No one was complaining about how they let an offensive lineman run to the 4-yard line. It was great. He was holding the football like a loaf of bread. Everyone cracking up. Great time. I've been to Lambeau twice. Like I said, I saw them with Brett in 2008, and then in 2012, I saw the Packers open against the 49ers when David Akers hit, or I think he hit a 61-yard field goal, or he tied the longest. I forget, one of the two. Another couple cool games I've been to, Miami in 2014. Hot as shit. The hottest game I've definitely ever been to. 105 heat index, I think it was. This was before they added the whole white, sunblock roof over you. So the new Hard Rock Stadium. So I was in the sun, direct sunlight, pretty much the entire time. It was awful in terms of humidity and all that. But the game was a blast. Cheesehead definitely saved me from sunburn. But if you don't remember, that's the fake spike game Aaron Rodgers decided to pull out in Dan Marino's house, which I actually called. There's 3 plays or the play of right when they were running up the line. I was like, fake spike, Aaron, fake spike. No, not that he could hear me or anything, obviously, but still, it's cool to call it, and everyone was like, what the fuck? Everyone's looking at me like, oh, how'd you know that? I was like, I don't know. Threw fake spike, hit Devontae, goes out of bounds at the 4.
Here comes the spike. The fake spike.
He throws to Adams, and Davante Adams is pulled out of bounds.
And then game-winning touchdown pass, lasered Andrew Corliss on the right side with like 4 seconds remaining. That was a fun one. On the flip side of fun, we have bad games. I've been to Tennessee in 2016 when Titans weren't even really that good, but they kicked the shit out of the Packers. It was 47-25. DeMarco Murray threw a touchdown pass that game. So
Fells, leading rusher. Murray looking to throw. End zone, Walker.
If that shouldn't explain how that game went, it's just the general Dom Capers defense experience I got to see there. I saw the 2017, what I call Toilet Bowl, which was a Brett Hundley-led Packers after a broken collarbone by Aaron Rodgers against the I think it was 0-14 or 0-13 Browns with Deshaun Kaiser at the helm. Funny how they became teammates sooner or later, but for a brief period of time. But saw Brett Hundley play Deshaun Kaiser, and regardless of the fact of how the quarterback play wasn't that great, the game was amazing. Overtime, game-winning touchdown pass, Davante Adams spun out of a quick screen to the left side, took it to the house, ran straight into the tunnel. It was pretty fun. It was very cold up there. It may not have said it on the weather report, said something about 30 degrees, but Cleveland Brown Stadium's right on Lake Erie, and that wind gust comes in, and it is terrible. It is really bad. It was very cold that day. And going into overtime, it was just, but it was a fun one to watch. Another bad game I've been to was in 2018, the Mason Crosby game against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Yeah, 5 missed field goals. I think it was 5 missed field goals and a missed PAT, or 4 and a missed PAT, one of the two. That was hard to watch. It's almost like I didn't believe it when I saw it, because you expect kickers to make kicks, especially in a dome. And if they miss 1 or 2 in a game, you're like, all right, like just a bad day. But 5, it was one of those freak scenarios where you just don't even believe what you're seeing. And it was crazy because, you don't expect to go into Detroit, and they were great fans, but go into Detroit and have them laughing at you. That was definitely a humbling experience. I almost made it up to Detroit for the Hail Mary game. They were getting terrible snow up there, and the tickets got really low priced. They were something like $13 for nosebleed. And I was talking to my dad, and we're like 12 hours away from Detroit Drive. And I'm like, let's just go up there. It's $13. Like, let's just do it. I think it was a Thursday night game. And we decided against it because the snow and the travel, we could have just gotten stuck or whatever. And to this day, still regret not just pulling that trigger and going up there, because that would have been definitely the most crazy game I've been to. A lot of people ask how I started my channel or when and why. Started in 2013. I was still in high school. The Cowboys were playing the Packers. It was when Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone the first time. And then Matt Flynn came in. They re-signed or brought back Matt Flynn. He started the game. They went down 26-3 at half. Horrible game. And you would think, okay, I will put a less than 1% chance of Matt Flynn coming out of halftime and putting together the comeback. If it was Aaron Rodgers there, you'd be like, all right, maybe like a 25-30% chance. I mean, that's a 23-point deficit. That would be and was the biggest deficit comeback by the Green Bay Packers in team history at the time. And he did it. He did it. So if you can remember the Eddie Lacy run in the first few plays of half, 55 yards, Jordy Nelson mossing one of the corners, just crazy sequences happened in that second half. But after that, to round that up, after that, I wanted to make a video, and I didn't have a channel. I didn't have any editing software. I don't even know where to start, but I wanted to make a video. I just wanted to make something to commemorate the glory that was Matt Flynn. And I just went at it. I just created a channel, just self-taught myself, looked up on YouTube tutorials, all that stuff, and put together this edited video on Matt Flynn, praising him a hero and all this. He kind of did save that. He definitely did save that season in 2013 to let Aaron Rodgers come back into Chicago in week 17, and we all know the outcome of that.
Rodgers gets the snap. Blitz is on. Rodgers scrambles left, winds up rainbow.
Cobb.
He's got Cobb at the 10 to the 5
Yes!
to the end zone.
But I always go back and look at that video to see where I started and just see how far I've come, and have everyone else watch my stuff. It means so much to me because it's crazy. It's crazy to have millions of views and people from all around the world watch your stuff, because I've had people from Germany and other places around Europe and Brazil and stuff like that message me, and it's so wild to think that I'm putting out content and people from all around the globe that are Packers fans alike are just watching it and enjoying that. So I always want to continue doing highlights. With this show, this is just an addition. I'm not stopping the highlight train. I love doing it. I always have. It'll always be a passion of mine. I want to ask you guys to put in the comments why you became a Packers fan specifically. So mine was because of Brett Favre, and my dad, was it because of player, and what player? Was it because your family grew up Packers fans? You're born in Wisconsin, you're born in Green Bay, whatever. A situation that happened with the team. I was born in '96. I didn't even know what football was, but that's the year they won the Super Bowl. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's at Basaraski. I'll put the links down in the description. You can get more insight to me. You can message me a lot easier on Twitter than YouTube. It's a lot easier to contact me. I post little video clips on there and stuff like that. Just fun stuff. I just talk about football mainly on there. So that will pretty much do it for today. I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of explain what I'm trying to drive for with this part of my channel, and just get everyone into a central hub just of all Packers fans alike from around the globe, just to talk football, what I love to do. Sit here, talk football, chat with people about it. It's just a passion of mine. In the next couple episodes, I have a special guest coming on, an ex-Packers player actually. He's still in the NFL, so that'll be interesting, and I'm very excited to share that with you guys. So on that note, I will catch you guys in the next one. Go Pack!